Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new video on the channel. Today we are going to talk about the top 15 crossovers in the NBA. Before we get started with the video, don't forget to smash the like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get started. Number 15. Deon Williams turns Tony Douglas all the way around. My favorite crossover move of all time belongs to Deron Williams. The way in which he leans into it, and the manner in which he engages his entire body in it since relocating to Brooklyn. He hasn't yanked nearly as many people, but that's precisely the reason why U2 was developed. Number 14. Steve Nash slides out of his socks against Tony Parker. The person who claims to have invented the teardrop is also known for having one of the most impressive baseline crossovers of all time. In this situation, it was Nash who took the brunt of it. But I believe the Lakers were the club that ultimately lost the most as a result of this move. Number 13. Kevin Durant tells Sasha Pavlovich to sit down. Even though Durant's size and length prevent him from ever being a dazzling ball handler, he is still capable of producing some remarkable plays every once in a while. It was possible that this performance would be the one that ended someone's career. Nasty. Number 12. Michael Jordan puts Brian Russell on a pogo stick. Later on in this list, we'll get more commentary from both of these individuals. This double crossover from Jordan is given the bare minimum of attention in the highlight videos of his career. Tell that to Russell. I have no doubt that it will make him happy to know it. Number 11. Jason Kidd destroys two all-world defenders on the same play. Even though Ron Harper and Scottie Pippen are two of the best defenders to play the game in the modern era, they are accustomed to having their defenses breached. Damon Stoudemire is credited with putting Harper on his posterior at one point, and Kobe Bryant is known for frequently taking Pippen out of the frame. Both of them were knocked out by Kidd's moves in this particular matchup. Number 10. JMAL Creative Awarded Barbecues by Ray Allen. Although Crawford is famous for his shake and bake, this move has the potential to be the highlight of his entire career. Jesus just passed out on the final crossover because he was unable to keep up with the other runners. This was the only move on the list that didn't strictly adhere to the rules in this situation, but I don't think you'll be too concerned about that. Number 9. Tim Hardaway UTEP2 stepping on Chris Childs. It's not that the move isn't fantastic, it's just that Hardaway isn't rocking anyone with it like some of the other guys on this list are shaking people with their moves. Unfortunately, because of the high level of difficulty, it falls to the next slot in the rankings. You're coming down on the break at practically full speed, and then you're going through the legs before bringing it across your body, right? That would be Houdini. Childs was beaten by Hardaway on several occasions during the course of his career. Number 8. Allen Iverson telling Jacques Vaughn to sit down. Vaughn challenged Russell Crowe to a gladiator match in the gladiator pit, which was unimaginable. To get one's wires crossed requires a certain level of competence, and then to stagger backwards before falling forward 10 feet upon your posterior. Number 7. Chris Paul is spinning Anthony Carter around. The majority of players would have lost their composure and either smacked the living daylights out of CP or come down on the other end and started chucking if they were in those situations. There is a very good chance that none of that was done by Carter. When I meet him again, I'm going to make it a point to ask him about the show. I doubt he even remembers. It's likely that he forgot about it within the first 5 minutes after it occurred. It's still a crazy move to do that. It is finished off by the goaltender standing at the conclusion. Number 6. Steve Francis embarrassing Troy Hudson. Troy Hudson has it rough. He was dragged in every conceivable direction at once, but at least he didn't hurt himself by falling. During an NBA game, someone getting embarrassed on an island like this is not something that happens very frequently. The only thing that could have given Hudson his pride back was a bucket full of water. However, nobody remembers in any direction what took place after Francis had cooked and served him the meal. Number 5. Michael Jordan for a title on Brian Russell. To begin, let's make sure we're on the same page about something. That's not a good starting point. His arm was never allowed to lengthen. As a result, we call this a nudge. The entire push-off notion has received excessive attention throughout the years. It is impossible to maintain sufficient power without extending your arm in order to send someone like Brian Russell staggering backwards for 5 feet. It is not going to take place. It was the move, which consisted of a stop on a dime, pull-back crossover, that caused Russell to slide and slip. This move was only used very little by Jordan. The fact that he did it on his last shot in the game that was his final real career game is particularly noteworthy. Number 4. Derrick Rose destroys Andrew Miller. It amazes me that Miller was even capable of moving quickly enough to get himself on his back. This is the type of fall that is absolutely embarrassing. There are moments when you can make light of the situation. You can also try to say that you were pushed or that you trod on the guy's foot in other situations. This time, it won't work. Miller was currently located on an island. He was duped by Rose. Then Miller fell. In the end, it was contained in a bucket. Number 3. Jason Williams showing out against Gary Payton. Following this action, it is surprising that the glove did not join the rest of the players in jumping on the bandwagon. You know how you're always working on your hesitation moves in the vain hope that one day you'll actually be able to use them effectively. But it never seems to work out. Payton was forced to extend his leg because Williams had him standing on his tiptoes and off balance to the point where he couldn't do anything else. It's possible that this is the only time in the history of the NBA that a defender has been caught so badly that he has no choice but to just sit there and say, damn. Number 2. Allen Iverson puts Antonio Daniels down twice. 2 passes were missed by Antonio. Twice. After that, the only thing you can do is get up stunned, put your hands out, and go for a ref to protest, which is exactly what Daniels did. Daniels was thrown overboard by Iverson, who then abandoned him at sea in the hope that someone would toss him a life raft. There is not going to be a raft, guy. You won't be able to escape this one for the rest of your life. You'll just have to learn to accept it. Daniels may also hold the record for the most times a player has been dropped by a crossover in the history of the NBA. Number 1. Allen Iverson tells Michael Jordan to watch the throne. Michael Jordan was not shaken nearly as violently. In the end, he was successful in recovering and contesting the shot. But despite that, this is the first video that springs to mind whenever the word crossover is mentioned. Iverson was the embodiment of the cross, and here was the crowning moment for his signature move. The legendary nature of this play can be attributed to a number of factors, including Michael Jordan going for the first move, Michael Jordan defending Jordan while he was on an island at the top of the key, and of course Jordan making the basket to cap it all off. The only aspect of this that I find unsatisfactory is that Ali mentioned that he had always assured everyone that when he got to this position, he would try his move. Because it's not his move. He swiped it from Georgetown walk-on Dean Barry, to put it in the words of Michael Jordan's ardent and unwavering supporters. That's a wrap on the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, let me know by giving it a thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.